Well, it looks like we're all present and correct, so I would like to call to order the October 12th, 2021 meeting of the Easton Housing Authority Board of Commissioners, which is being held remotely via GoToMeeting. Let the records show that meeting is being recorded by Easton Community Access Cable TV. And roll call for the attendance, Tom Tebow.
Here.
Chrisanne Sheedy.
Here.
Don Barrows.
Yeah.
Dennis Sheedy.
Here.
And Pam Whitup is here. And I don't see that we have any guests, call-ins. So we'll get right into the agenda of this meeting. The first item on the agenda is the minutes of the September 14th, 2021 meeting.
I'll make a motion to accept to approve the minutes of the September 14th, 2021 meeting as written.
I'll second that motion.
Thank you. We have a motion by Commissioner Dennis Sheedy and a second by Commissioner Chrisanne Sheedy to accept the minutes of the September 14th, 2021 meeting. Do we have any questions or discussion on these minutes?
I'm all set.
I'm good.
Okay, hearing none, we will do a roll call vote to approve these minutes. Commissioner Tom Tebow,
Yes.
Commissioner Dennis Sheedy,
Yes.
Commissioner Don Barrows,
Yes.
and Commissioner Chrisanne Sheedy.
Yes.
Okay, the vote is unanimous to approve the minutes of the September 14th, 2021 meeting as so appropriately and eloquently prepared by the Kristen, I think her name is.
Yes.
The second item on the agenda is the September 2021 warrant in the amount of $304,980.19.
I'll make a motion to approve the September 2021 warrant in the amount of $304,980.19.
I'll second that motion.
Thank you. We have a motion by Commissioner Dennis Sheedy and a second by Commissioner Don Barrows to approve the September 2021 warrant in the amount of $304,980.19. Do we have any discussions or questions on this?
I have a couple questions. Kathy, one of the checks was a repayment for post-tax Aflac payback for coverage the employee did not receive. How did that happen?
He had changed it apparently back in 2018. Unbeknownst to me, our Aflac representative didn't tell me that this had occurred. The employee didn't realize it. I actually picked it up on a recent change in the employee's benefits. And I got the new statement in and I thought something was amiss. And when I called the agent, he indicated to me that Dan had canceled that back in 2018. So we had been charging him for it and he had been paying into it this whole time, but didn't have the benefit.
Was the check going to Aflac?
Yes.
That's odd for a company just to receive it. That is. Obviously, they would have covered them if they needed it, but all right. I mean, usually if they cancel it, they send it back, right? They say we no longer.
No, what happened? No, the check was going to Aflac, but his amount wasn't that amount of it was, I think it was $19.32 a week was not part of that payment. So we had been deducting it from his paycheck, but yet it didn't get paid to Aflac. He didn't realize it. I didn't realize it. So I went back to July 1st of 2018 when the policy was canceled to July 1st of 2021 and gave him back that money that he was entitled to.
Okay, no, I don't doubt he's entitled to it.
Yeah.
Then I just had one other question. The generator in the garage needed $2,300 in repairs. What was wrong with that?
That generator is original. They were having difficulty indicating what exactly was wrong with it. They replaced the motherboard in it. That didn't work, and there were some other parts that this is the second repair on that generator.
Mhm,
So there
yeah.
were a few things, but it is running. It's been, and I've talked to the fire department. Just, something does happen. I'm still working on that to see if we can get a transfer switch installed, just in case, because we're gonna have to replace the generator.
How old is that generator?
Original,
Original,
to the garage. When was this built? 70, 68, 70, something like that, 1970. It's a workhorse.
so it's ancient.
Yeah,
Okay,
It's an antique.
yes.
Well, yeah, almost, yeah, 50 years.
For a generator or anything to last that long mechanically.
I have no more questions. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Any other questions from any of the board members? No? I'm sorry to ask you, Kathy, to repeat the answer. What type of insurance is the Aflac insurance?
That's a pre-tax. It's insurance employees take out. The authority has no monetary contribution to it whatsoever. It's strictly
Oh, it's-
based on the employee.
Okay. so it's-
Short-term disability, a long-term disability, is that what it is?
It's all different things. I can't really disclose which each employee has, but there are
that's fine.
benefits, cancer benefits, health benefits. There's all different things that they can pick from.
Generally covers whatever your insurance won't cover when you
Yes.
have any kind of an incident.
Okay. Is there any other questions or discussions? Okay, hearing none. Let's move to a roll call vote to approve the September warrant in the amount of $304,980.19. Commissioner Chrissy Sheedy,
Yes.
Commissioner Dennis Sheedy,
Yes.
Commissioner Don Barrows,
Yes.
and Commissioner Tebow. Tom?
Yes.
And chair votes yes, so it is a unanimous vote. The next item on the agenda is the accountant's compilation report as of August 31st, 2021.
I'll make a motion that the,
Motion to accept the August financial statements and put on file.
I'll second that.
Thank you. We have a motion by Commissioner Dennis Sheedy and a second by Commissioner Tom Tebow to accept the accountant's compilation report as of August 31st, 2021, and place it on file. Is there any questions or discussions on this report?
Yeah, I just was curious why we owe HUD like $30,000.
They have the HUD holds reserves. I don't think we owe HUD 30,000. Forgive me, I didn't review these very much this month.
Says it's a payable for $29,546.
Christine, I don't know the answer to that. I can definitely get back to you on that.
Yeah, just curious.
Doesn't he usually do a, guess not. I thought there was a calculation at the bottom of the comparative that showed any HUD funds due or owed. But I guess not.
Yeah, I don't believe we owe HUD any money, so I'm
Well, I will profess that my knowledge of balance sheets and the like is not the best, so. I'm not the bookkeeper, I am not the accountant.
Let me just do some math here with my calculator. 29, 46, what did it just say? 76.
I didn't mean to put you to work, Pam.
No, this is like automatic pilot for me. I see that we have a prepaid HUD contribution of $7,612 further down, which appears to be an offset to the 29,546. Now the contra, it's also called contra.
Yeah,
So that would make it 21,934. I don't know if that number rings any bells to you, Kathy?
no, it doesn't, because we do have the reserve too. It's a low reserve, but I can definitely look into that and get back to the board on that.
What would we do in a case like this? Accept it with that, or just defer this, probably defer this till,
We're not accepting them as accurate. We're just accepting them that she gave them to us. And that
okay, thank you.
they go on file. Next month we will, when we do a quarterly. But
Mhm.
this,
Very
just
much,
that
Tom.
we were given this information, we got to look at it and question it, and Kathy can get back to us on that other one.
Absolutely, we'll do that.
And I'm right with Chris Ann Sheedy. My accounting 1 and 2 back in 1982 has not kept me up to speed on balance sheet.
well, at least you took it, I never took it.
Truth be told, I rely on the fee accountant far too much for these.
Like why I have a fee accountant
Yeah,
and a bookkeeper.
I don't have the bookkeeper.
I remember in high school, one of our bookkeeping teachers had a monotone voice, and she had me sitting at the back of the class because I used to raise my hand too much with the answers, and I used to see people nodding off.
That would have been me. I am not an accounting person. I would have been nodding.
Okay, are there any other questions on this report? Which I confess I didn't scrutinize this time around. Okay, so we will move to a roll call vote to just accept that we've received this report and place it on file. So, and that's the accountant's compilation report of August 31st, 2021. Yes or no roll call vote. Commissioner Chris Ann Sheedy,
Yes, I do.
Dennis Sheedy,
Yes,
Don Burrows,
Yes.
and Tom Tebow.
Yes.
And I vote yes, so it is unanimous to accept the accountant's compilation report as submitted to us and place it on file.
Thank you.
Oh. And agenda item number 4 is the executive director's report for the month of October. Kathy, is there anything you would like to highlight, or are there any questions from the board?
Well, as you can see, Dawn's been very busy leasing up units. We have 2 more units that are ready to be, they have accepted offers. They're not maintenance ready quite yet, hopefully this week, so those will be gone. We did pull a list for 50 Day Street, and she's screening 25 people for that unit currently, so hopefully we'll get that one. We're still having issues with the wheelchair units. And I want to talk to our housing manager, or maybe even other commissioners, if they know where they've been sitting so long, we're having trouble filling it with a wheelchair person. Is it possible to lease those, or did they have to go to a wheelchair individual?
Mobility impaired, doesn't have to be a wheelchair.
Okay,
So a walker, a cane,
we were hoping we were getting a request for a transfer, and it has not come through yet on somebody that may need it, so we do have those units we're currently working on. And Donna just did another briefing today of 3 more Section 8 applicants, so they were in this morning. Hopefully we'll get those going. As you can see, we have a lot of projects that are going to be starting up, so I imagine the next board meetings are going to be a little busier. And today, just as an FYI, we posted the annual plan. It's on our website. I'll be sending the link to the board members for review of the annual plan and the capital improvement plan. And the meeting will be scheduled for the December 14th board meeting. So we'll have the public hearing at 5 o'clock for anybody that may have comments prior to that. It went pretty smoothly, so I will forward that link to the board so that they can review that. Unless they'd like me to send them a paper copy of it, I can do that as well.
I'm fine with the link.
as am I. A link is fine. So yeah, your year end is March, and you're doing your annual plan and the capital improvement. The whole thing just makes me crazy. But anyhow, so,
Just one more thing to do.
yeah,
And we also have to do our admin plan for Section 8, so that will be coming up too. I think I have that one slated for January 11th meeting. Yeah. Because we'll be going out to public hearing by the end of this month on that one as well. So, the dumpsters, we're working on the dumpsters at Parker Terrace. Still waiting to hear back from the trash company. Whether we can piggyback on the towns, whether the town DPW manager will allow us to, because they could just file an addendum and we could get better pricing. And we're gonna go to the dumpsters. The totes are getting to be very cumbersome, and expensive. And the dumpsters would make more sense. And we have dumpsters at Lee Circle currently, so we're working on that. And yeah, it's been busy to say the least.
so the Barrows kitchen and bath renovation, the bids are due for 10/21, 11/21. It's certainly not.
We have the pre-bid walkthrough tomorrow morning.
So it's for 10/21. Okay.
Oh, sorry. That was a typo on my report.
So we're going to have 2 things to award at the November
Yes.
meeting.
Kathy, a couple of questions on the dumpster. There's 2 in a Lee Circle.
Mhm.
And when I was talking to the residents, they said that they fill up awful fast. And one of the reasons is because people are dumping larger items into those dumpsters. And, so I don't know if you're going to be running into the same problem at Parker Terrace, I would assume. In talking to the residents, they were wondering if there was a third dumpster just dedicated to large items, if that wouldn't take some of the relief off of the two that are currently being used. So I don't know if you think about that in processing the actual cost of it.
Well, one of the dumpsters we were thinking of leaving as is, but the dumpster closer to the Parker Lee size, we were thinking of getting a bigger dumpster than what is currently there. So larger items aren't supposed to be in there, and I do know when maintenance sees that, they'll pull them out and put them in the dumpster here, and we'll get a bigger dumpster outside the maintenance garage here as well.
Yeah, I just wanted to make sure you was aware of that. And also, a lot of the towns are mandating that these dumpsters are being enclosed so they're not exposed out, you know. I think Brockton's one that all your dumpsters have to be, covered up pretty much with fencing around it or something. And I don't know I don't know where Easton is on that. So I don't know if that's going to be another added cost to the dumpsters. So when you're calculating all these costs, that might be a possibility.
Currently, I don't believe that, I'm sorry. Currently, I don't believe that is code in Easton. Something we can look at, though.
Yeah, I just think when you're factoring in the cost for everything, just to be aware of that.
Mhm.
I don't know if you have the problem there, but in Brockton, we do have to have them enclosed. You're right, Dawn. And second, we are getting a tremendous amount of outside trash brought in, a lot by families. They see the dumpster, they bring that in. So we just negotiated our contract. It went up by from 24,000 a month to 30,000 a month. We had to bring more dumpsters in.
We don't have too many problems with outside trash, believe it or not. I don't think a lot of people realize the housing authority is down here. And, with all the people pay attention and they look. It's mostly resident trash that winds up in there. And sometimes it is worse than others when we have a vacate. Obviously, the dumpster will get full. We've had a lot of vacates. I think that's contributed to the fact that the dumpsters have been filled up more readily. It's even if you fence it in, you'll still run into those problems. You have people throwing things behind the fence that you don't see or whatnot. But yeah, fencing it in would be something we'd look at some point. But right now, it's not code in Easton. I know the schools don't have them fenced. Businesses around Easton don't have them fenced in, and either way, the trash has gone up exorbitantly, and it's going to keep going up, I think.
Yes, it is. They just closed the landfill in Taunton.
Mhm. Yeah.
So now the closest landfill is Rochester.
Yeah, and that's not always open.
Um,
Often they're bringing it out to the middle of the state.
Wow.
Is there any savings in having a cardboard dumpster? And the reason I ask is over in my little corner of the world here, we were having a problem with people not breaking boxes down and filling up, the waste wheelers, they're called, the totes. And there was a couple of times where I would break the box down myself. I'd bring my knife with me and break them down to make room. But that is risky for, unless you have some hand sanitizer with you. But is there a chance that we could save money if we had a cardboard
No,
dumpster?
it gets more expensive when you do recycle, quite honestly. That's why they don't do recycle. If you recycle, it's more costly because people throw stuff in inevitably that shouldn't be in recycle. So recycling is more cost prohibitive than,
Yes, that's right, because if maintenance doesn't catch it, if it's covered, if the boxes are covering the non-cardboard, then of course they do have the ones where you have to break it down and feed it through a slot. But I know that at the landfills, if
I can tell you right now, just left outside the dumpster.
I'm sorry,
It would just get left outside the dumpster if that was the case.
they wouldn't break it down and push it through the slot.
We'd find it there in the morning. probably on a rainy day in a big pile.
So in Fairhaven, we pay for our trash pickup, but the town does our recycling for us. We have the totes and we're part of the town's contract on that. We don't pay for recycling at all.
Yeah, well, like I said, I'm trying to work with David Field, but I've yet to hear back from him. As well as the trash company, who I believe is Waste Management here in town. That's who the
It
DPW
is.
is contracted with. So I talked to her and she's even reached out to David to see if we can piggyback on there because there really aren't a lot of options out there right now. We currently have Republic. The contract is going to be up and quite honestly, they've been terrible. They've been very bad.
And on the dumpster enclosures, we usually wrap that into when we're doing a parking lot over as we build dumpster enclosures.
Mhm. Yep.
The other thing about open dumpsters is on windy days, the trash can get blown out of it. And also if they, in the summertime, when the smells are ripe, if I'm not sure where you're going to locate these dumpsters.
They will come in and sanitize those dumpsters if you call and ask for it.
Mhm. The locations we have now, one would be in the back parking lot here to the right. The other would be out by our maintenance garage right now. We were also thinking up at the other end of Parker Terrace, where there's a pad right now, I believe where Derek's reseeding, we'd put one there. That one, I would probably look at getting a fence enclosure around just because of where we'd have to put. Quite honestly, it would just be easier to locate them in the parking lot out back here, but it's a little too far for some people.
Yeah.
So that's why we want to locate one up there as well.
Yep, you got to make it convenient.
Yep, as much as we can.
Well, one of the issues,
I'm sorry.
go ahead.
No, go ahead, John.
Oh, one of the issues is when they talked about the dumpsters filling up there fast is that if you're not able to stretch up and flip that top cover up, it makes it awful hard to get rid of so those larger items go in and they fill up the bottom of the dumpster. So the side doors, you really can't access to dispose of your trash. So that's why I kind of put a little bit of importance on maybe a designated dumpster just for large items to really save that space in that dumpster that's going to be used by the residents on a regular basis. The other question I had is on the Elise Circle, that the community center there, that you noted that it's moving forward.
Yes.
Is they keep adding stuff to it, extra work. Is that going to be in a financial danger at all, as far as being able to complete on a financial end of it?
No, there is funding for the asbestos abatement. We don't have a choice. Whenever they do construction jobs such as this, I had asked them, because the flooring is where most of the asbestos is, if we could leave the flooring down since it's intact. They told us we could not because there are already 2 floors there. There's a floor and another floor. They're both asbestos. They have to be removed. And there is funding. There is special funding through the department for asbestos abatement. So.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Any other questions on the executive director's report?
I'm good. Thank you.
All set, thanks.
No, unless that wraps it up. Since we don't have anyone in the visitors, so there are no questions or concerns from visitors. So we will look to schedule the next meeting for November 9th.
Sounds good to me.
Works for me.
Yep, well set.
Yeah, good.
Okay, well, that's unanimous. Um, The next meeting of the Easton Housing Authority will be held on Tuesday, November 9th. Whether it's going to be remote or at the Parker Terrace Community Center, it remains to be seen as we progress along with safety measures. I confess, I got the flu last week, a small flu, you know, not small when you're my age, but so we need to be cautious with those things. So I would entertain a motion to adjourn unless there isn't anything else.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second that.
Okay, we have a motion from Tom Tebow, and it sounded like it was Dennis and Dawn both seconding, so I'll put them both in. And all
I
those in
think Dawn
favor,
won.
say aye.
Hi.
Aye.
I guess.
Okay, it is unanimous to adjourn, and hope everyone stays well until next time.
I hope
At
you feel better.
5:31 PM is the adjourn.
Have a good evening.
Have a
Thank
good
you.
evening.
Well,
Thanks. Good night.
Hi.
good night.
Thanks, Kathy.
Thanks, Chris. Bye, Pam. Bye.